My name is slahser, and this is my way of playing Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend is a hero who is extremely vulnerable the first few levels, being basically a ranged creep. In mid game he is able to dish out a large amount of damage, but still remain a very easy hero to kill. He is often thought as a hard carry, but he can fall off quite a lot in the late game compared to other carry heroes such as Slark or Phantom Assassin. He is therefore usually strongest in the mid game, as long as he does not get burst down in the beginning of a fight. Shadow Fiend is usually played in mid lane, but I prefer playing him in the safe lane. He has a lot of things a mid hero needs. He benefits a lot from bottle, he can push the creep wave when rune spawns, and can get a high right click damage if he gets enough souls. But his biggest problem is that he is very easy to gank, and people often take advantage of that when they see a Shadow Fiend mid. That is why I prefer playing him in the safe lane. Here he can easily get souls and is much harder to gank. He is also able to push the tier 1 tower quickly with raise if the enemy offlaner leaves. When I started playing Shadow Fiend, I would go Shadow Blade as quickly as possible. While Shadow Blade is definitely fun on him, I didn't have much success with it. If any ganker got a dust, it was basically 3k gold down the drain. I could only get a kill with ulti every 2 minutes or so, which was cool, but the items didn't really do that much besides that. What I eventually settled on doing with him is trying to boost his HP a lot in the start. So I started off with a raid band and a Tengu, then get Threads, Magic Wand and get a Sange. After the Sange I will either make Sange and Yasha, or I will get a BKB if they have a lot of stun or magical damage. Later on I will get Desolator or Crit. If they have PA or Brewmaster I will make a Monkey King bar. You can build Shadow Fiend this way because without any items that boost his damage, he already is able to dish out a lot. But since he doesn't really have any abilities that help him survive, he is often focused in teamfights. That is why I get so many items that boost his HP, since you will then be able to tank what they throw at you, and survive to keep dishing out damage. With a Sange, Threads and an Ogre Club, all quite cheap items, you can double his strength. Instead of having about 800 HP at level 10, you will have 1.5k or more. This is crucial for a hero who is almost always focused in teamfights and is a very high priority gank target. Midas is also seen often on Shadow Fiend, but I don't like to get such an item on a hero who is already so squishy. If you get Midas, you are forced to play much more passive than if you get items that helps you survive. There's one hero who I lost to a lot when I played Shadow Fiend, and that is Slark. I almost always first pick Shadow Fiend in my games, which is something I would not recommend. Earlier in mid game, Slark is not really a problem for Shadow Fiend, but later there's really no way for Shadow Fiend to battle a Slark. Damn that Slark! Blink Dagger is an item which is also sometimes seen on Shadow Fiend. I would recommend getting it against Void, since it is quite easy to dodge his chronosphere when he times walks towards you. If you don't get a blink, it doesn't matter how farmed you are, since Void will be able to kill you in his ultimate. Another hero which is quite good against Shadow Fiend is Clinks, being able to burst him down rather quickly. I also skill Shadow Fiend somewhat unusually. First of all, wait a bit taking your first skill. You usually want to get Necromaster level 1 so you can start stacking up your damage. But sometimes I have skilled Raise level 1 to help get a first blood if I was together with a stunner on the safe lane. Max Raise as quickly as possible and take Necromastery as well. I like to get the ultimate at level 6, even though I don't have all my souls at that time, and thus it does not deal full damage. But it still provides 50% physical damage reduction and 25% move speed slow for 5 seconds, and the damage is not something to laugh at. At level 6 you can have 22 souls, which is almost 2/3 of the max souls you can have. It can also be very useful since people won't expect you to have ultimate at that time, and it can thus really surprise them. If you're low HP and being chased, try to go into the fog or trees and then use ultimate. Another great trick: if an enemy is TPing to a tower, you can stand on top of where he's going to land and channel ultimate. He's either forced to cancel his TP or take your ultimate head on when his TP teleports in. If he cancels his TP, you can always also cancel your ultimate. You don't have to be right on top of your enemies when you use your ultimate. It will still be useful even though they are a bit farther away. If you found this guide useful, be sure to like and subscribe. I have also uploaded a full commentated Shadow Fiend game, which you can check out right here.